Hello and welcome back to Oslo Sanctuary. My name is Clark, otherwise known as CP Cunny, and we are back again for another iteration of work on our lovely zoo here in Norway. I'm not gonna lie, I was just started thinking about what I'm going to be working on today. I started thinking about it about 15 seconds before I hit record. And what I'm thinking is, it should come as no surprise, based on the last episode, that this space needs to finish getting filled. It will be occupied by our friendly resident Asian black bear, specifically a Formosan black bear. But in addition to working on this here home for our two friends here, oh my god, that one is old as dirt. Was actually a sucker for, was actually kind of a chump for buying that. I was not paying attention to the age. So, nice to meet you. I'm stupid. What's your name? Okay, so they live to be 31. They are, okay, so good. So we still have a 10-year window for this gold black bear. Yeah, I guess that explains why I got that black bear for so little money. Also, her name is Breed Group 1, which is fantastic. Anywho, I will be looking to build their home today, but I also might be working with a couple more ideas. As I mentioned in our last episode, this zoo is sorted taxonomically. I had my friend Nesser over today, and he told me how to pronounce that word. So taxonomically is the word that I'm probably going to be saying a bunch in this episode so that hopefully I can drill it into my brain before I forget again. But anyway, because the zoo is sorted taxonomically, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Then, we need to put up signs to, so stupid. We need to put up signs in order to, I guess, make it clear to the guests and to anybody else who might be looking at this zoo that it's sorted taxonomically. In other words, I'm just saying a whole bunch of words. But what that translates to is that I need to have signs for both the Ursidae clade, which is all this right here, as well as the greater order Carnivora. Hello? Oh, there we go. Oh, what kind of reward do we have this time? Wow, 50. 50 conservation credits is so unbelievably few. Like, I have 14,000, and I'm not gonna lie, like, giving me 50, you might as well give me none at all. But anyway, I'm hoping to build out this habitat today, as well as add signs, our Ursidae signs, and our Carnivora signs. Our Carnivora sign, I think, is going to be in somewhere around this here circle. This circle, my intention was to make it the center of the Carnivora section. Oh, no! No! Oh, Perry the platypus died. That's so sad. I don't know why it gave me this cinematic. Oh, wait, no, he's still alive. He's probably about to die. He's sniffing around. What's up, buddy? Please don't leave us. Oh, there he goes. Oh, well, that was just tragic. Well, because it's Perry the platypus, this is not just any platypus. Then I fully intended to, yeah, go ahead and let's get his body out of here. I fully intended to add a memorial for Perry the platypus. Now I don't actually remember exactly how to do that. It's right here. Okay. Habitat memorials. Where is it? Oh, there he is right there. So we're going to create this memorial. Fantastic. And we're going to find somewhere to put it. I'm not entirely sure where. Maybe I'll put it just right here next to the habitat, maybe? Maybe if there's like a bench. I don't know. I watched a YouTuber the other night that was putting them on benches, which is actually kind of it's actually a pretty clever idea, just because because, well, you know, you see people's names on benches. Feels like a lot. Sometimes it's on like in memoriam. Sometimes it's you know, just sometimes it's just like donors and stuff. But what I'm gonna do, so I'm thinking for the time being, I'm about to sneeze. I apologize. Okay, there we go. For the time being, I'm gonna keep it right here on this wall. Is it in there? Yeah, good. So we've got in memoriam for Perry the platypus, who died on the 21st of January. Oh, cool. You can actually change the dedication, although the dedication just looks, you can even include the cause of death. Like, imagine if the cause of death wasn't old age. Imagine how dark and morbid that would be. But anyway, we might need to replace, no? Why are they both outsiders? Well, this guy's integrating Monaro, so hopefully they will breed. It will probably be inbreeding, I cannot lie. I wish that weren't the case, but that's probably the case. Anyway, I also did forget to mention that I did come in here and I didn't do much since the last time that I recorded, but I did add our education screens as well as these sloth bear signs right over the top. I really wish they were mirrored, just because, I don't know, it looks pretty repetitive, but I'd imagine if you're a guest, you're not really going to be in a position where you see both at the same time, so I'm just going to pretend that it's a-okay. And I also added this speaker, as well as some bins and benches in the area, in addition to our sloth bear sign. I don't know, I attempted to add some of these railings to this fence here. They were on this fence as well, but whenever I added them to this fence, then it got a little bit hairy. There wasn't enough room here, so it actually took away a lot of their accessible climb area. Do we have a cub? But it took away their climb area, so I just took it off on both those fences just so it was consistent. Ooh, not only do we have a cub, but we have a cub that is a genetic masterpiece of a bit, well, far from perfect, but he is gold, which does meet that community challenge, which I guess that makes sense because we just got a reward for it. So hopefully we'll be able to let the game run a good bit today, and with our mini bear habitats, then hopefully that means that we can get a few more bronze or better bears. That would be lovely. But our friend Droove here, yikes, yes, space is becoming a pretty see, that's the problem, is that this kind of makes me want to look. What the heck? See, this is a problem that I have had with this game before, where in my past zoos, then it really sucks. In past zoos, then it's like the climbable area just straight up doesn't work. So what I'm gonna do is, because like I swear, it was around 60 before. So it would still be low, but it wouldn't be as low by as much of a margin. And the navigable land area is, honestly, I was thinking about that too. I might have to try to tinker with these rocks just to give them a little bit more walkable area. Or who knows, I might have to get rid of the water fixture. I really don't want to get rid of the water fixture, but I might just have to do that. Anyway, I'm hoping that this problem with the climbing area will fix itself if I just kind of like move it, maybe move it down a little bit, and then hit play and kind of see what Droove is. So yeah, see, his space already went up. Yeah, it's already back up to 60. So it must have just been that one that wasn't working. I don't know why it wasn't working, but Droove seems to be doing much better now with his social / space requirement. It's still not perfect, which was really just a consistent problem that I found myself trying to negate in our last episode. Poop. Well, whatever the case, we have our lovely new addition, Droove. Look at him, he's so cute. Hi, friend. He's so little. He looks like a weird dog. Honestly, though, it's funny because sloth bears, they kind of look, I don't know, it looks like God created the sloth bear without any, like, direct knowledge of working with the other bears. It's like God's chief angel just said to him, "All right, I'm gonna describe what the other bears look like, and you're gonna match that." And that's what happened. And nobody, the description omitted just how relatively normal a bear's lips look. It omitted the fact that they don't look like walking shag carpets. Um, it yeah, just omitted some key details about what makes a bear, and obviously they're bears. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, y'all are all caught up on the status of our lovely zoo here. We've had some animals start to trickle in. Oh, dead deer. All right. Let's go ahead and get her out of here. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that has transpired since the last time we were on screen here. I came on last night. I was thinking about hopping on a live stream, and then I just didn't. And instead, I was thinking about some things. Was thinking about some plans and stuff, and I do think I was tinkering with the idea of putting a fountain here. I did attempt to put a fountain here. I couldn't really get the water to work. And so I, went to bed last night. Dang, we had a lot of animals passing away on us. But I went to bed, and as I was lying awake late into the wee hours of the morning, I was thinking about a lovely idea that I had for how to fill this space. So we might do the habitat first. We might do the building first. We might do signs first. My idea for the building might not show up in this episode, but I'm honestly more excited about building this building than I am building this habitat, because this habitat is honestly just going to be incredibly similar to this one, and this one was not very fun to build. Which, I don't know, maybe it shows, because this habitat feels kind of bleh, kind of bland, it fills the space. It fits the needs of the sloth bear, barely. But all in all, though, it's not one that I'm as excited about like I was for the sun bear habitat, or even the grizzly habitat. I feel like I just had a better time with, just because I was really pleased with how these cave-like galleries turned out, as well as the rock wall, and, of course, that had to build the corresponding staff building that's back here. I don't know. I've just been more excited about other habitats than this one. But, oh, facility broke down. Is this thing in a, come here now, come on, is this thing actually in, like, a work zone? But, we're gonna, oh dear, I'm gonna go ahead and pause that and then deal with this. Okay, you're incubating, so what I'm gonna do is okay, you're already in the, where are you being relocated to? Well, you're already got, so are you being taken to veterinary surgery? Dang, of course this happens now as I was about to hop into time lapse and get building. So I guess this episode might be a little bit longer, because the Let's Play section, is still underway. But yeah, it looks like she's being taken into veterinary surgery. She's being treated, so that's good. Yeah, I'd say that the more deer that have been born into that habitat, the more I've started to have problems. With disease, which it's not really a big problem, even now, but it is definitely something that I'm starting to see some of. But hopefully she'll be okay. Yeah, it looks like she's already being taken back. Oh dear, there's another one. Oh dear. Oh wait, that's an Arctic fox. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Oh, what's wrong with you? Injured? Oh shoot. Okay, well. Arctic foxes are overpopulating. Okay, well, see, this is why we let the game run, because it allows us to solve these problems. Let's see here. How many are there, even? There's 11 of them. Okay, well, you are, okay, let's see here. Does it even tell me how many of them are, does it even tell me how many of them are, like, how many of them are actually outsiders? Like, I thought it was telling me for some of these things. Maybe if I just click on them, like you. Are you an outsider? I could have sworn that it told me. Actually, looks like they have too much coverage and not enough enrichment. Makes me wonder if that's partly to do with the. Makes me wonder if that's partly to do with maybe the. Maybe that's partly to do. Words are eluding me. Maybe if that's partly to do with the overpopulation. So we have a curio ball, a blood scent marker, and a tennis ball, bamboo feeder, and a skittle feeder. So we basically just need to. I'm not a big fan of that one. Do we have a rubber duck? We're gonna go and add a rubber duck because I like. Excuse me. I like rubber ducks very much. So hopefully well, that's an enrichment thing right there. So hopefully we'll be able to find a nice spot to put one that there isn't one already. Although I don't want guests looking at them over here. That's already becoming a drastic problem because of where they sleep, which honestly is a problem that I likely need to address. But alas, it's not one that I'm not most concerned about right now. Heck, where are the... Is it gonna update? Maybe I kind of assumed that since I searched up Arctic fox, then it's actually going to kind of assume that it was going to do things that are compatible with them, and it didn't. Would you look at that? It just didn't. Okay, they actually don't. Oh wait, no, they do. Oh, that's the curio ball. Okay, they have a cardboard box. I feel really bad. It feels like such a lazy thing to just slap a cardboard box in their habitat and be like, here you go. You know, we're trying very hard to keep you happy. Well, they only have 2 available feeder options. What would happen if I were to put down another bamboo feeder? Would it... See, I think it would still provide enrichment. It just wouldn't be... Oh, okay. Well, it looks like it... Okay, yeah, so yeah, it doesn't... Okay, so it doesn't, I think it reduces how much each of them are worth. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here for, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to pop in here. We're going to just select a few, and we're going to send them on their merry way. So we're going to take you, and take you, and, yeah, this is going to kind of mess up the gender ratio. Why are all of my female Arctic foxes so much higher appeal than all of my male Arctic foxes? Look at that, gold. Okay, this one's gold. But silver, nothing. Gold. Whatever the case, I'm just gonna go ahead and send these 2 guys. Can I release all of them to the wild? Yeah, looks like I can. Hopefully that'll make things a little bit easier on these guys. Yeah, we're not overly worried about social group appears to be 100%, so hopefully that means that we're good to go. Hopefully that means that once that injured fella is returned to his home, then we'll be right as rain. All right, I am gonna wait because I really don't want to build in this blizzard. But once this blizzard subsides, you betcha I will be getting to it. Also, I'm realizing now the sloth bear might require some heaters. Hello there, how are you? No, I'm not seeing any problems. The terrain is looking off, but also well, the temperature seems to be fine. Okay. All right, you want to pick up this poop, ma'am? Could you, Kelly? I'm sure she'll get around to it. But yeah. So I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think if there's anything I guess if there's anything different that I can implement for this one. Just make it a little bit more interesting. Honestly, though, it might be looking more or less like this one. It might have a simple little elevated gallery that's kind of pushed slightly off of the main path. But I guess, first thing that I need to do is understand just how much space I'm working with here. Ideally, I'm not going to have the same spatial restrictions that I had before, but you know, if ifs and ands were nuts and buts, then we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Okay, so 1,700 land area, which we require. I always assume for bears that they can have, like, what? They can have one to 3, but, like, I'm assuming it's not often going to be over 2. So they need 1,200 plus the 72 land requirement. So I can eat into that a little bit, but I need to be very careful about how much, which really sucks. It really sucks. So what I'm thinking is simple little galleries kind of bowing in like here and then here. And hopefully that doesn't generate too terribly many problems. Okay, of course now it's raining. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and kind of get started here in just live real time, just because I'm just trying to sort out these paths. So there, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. See, that's just so small though. I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe just I'm going to do like something like this. Why on earth did it do that? But yeah, I'm thinking about something like this, where it's going to go like right here, and then I'm going to see if it'll automatically connect for me. That'd be mighty nice if it did. It did for a second. Nope, it didn't. See, unfortunately, my concern is that is going to cut out too much territory for them to be able to navigate. I don't know though, but what I'll do is I'll do something like this. And do something kind of like that, where one of these is going to be elevated, one of them is not. We're gonna play around with the barriers, just kind of get silly for a little bit. But yeah, my concern is that right off the bat, this is going to push them into too confined of an area, and I don't want that. I cannot lie. That's not something that I'm crazy about. That I'm, you know, like going stupid into that idea. Like I'm not trying to make these bears uncomfortable. And honestly, if it's any consolation to the Formosan Black Bear, then they would not be the only one making these compromises, because our sloth bears had to do the very same. And I love how it's like making these compromises like there's this, like this is an inevitable thing. I love how the guests are already using the path just because it's like a little bit of a shortcut. Also, that needs to be... Come on, now I'm trying to get rid of this. No! Look at that. It's like a path split off. That's alright. It doesn't matter. I was just trying to get rid of it so that it would look a little bit better. But alas, it's not. Okay, so now we're good. Now, what kind of... gosh, see, here's now the question is, what are we going to be left with? What are we going to be left with? I don't know. Do we have any? If anybody wants to place any bets on what kind of area we're going to be left with, it was roughly 1,700 before, and now it is 1,500. Okay, good. So we didn't lose that much off of that. That's good. That's definitely something that I can live with. We're also getting some fighting from the Eurasian lynx, so which means we're about to get some constant. Hey, you stop that! Stop that. Means we're about to get some. All right, Marina. Means we're about to get some conservation credits because you're about to get released to the wild. Although your conservation status is nothing too tragic, so so you know, should be fine. All right, the rain has stopped. Would you look at that? Without further ado, it is time to begin thank you all for tuning in, and I will be, I guess my voice isn't. No! Okay, I waited too long. But I really did that to myself. Why is the weather just so bad in my zoo today? Honestly, I might just have to live with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because the rain is much better to deal with than the snow. And I will talk to you guys after. Let me stop the recording and bye. All right, so I don't know, the whole recurring theme with the last build was space. Space is something that I did not plan for enough. But here we have a different, more, let's see here, more optimistic theme. And that theme is to work harder, not, goodness, words. No, not don't work harder. No, don't work harder, work smarter. So that's what I did. A lot of this building is pretty much copy and pasted from the other one. Not really, I guess not the build as a whole, but rather single elements of it. I decided pretty quickly that the sloth bear habitat and the grizzly bear habitat were both, had a lot of very similar, if not really identical styles. I mean, the walls that were surrounding them were the same. They were using the same, basic, color palette for the rocks. The path has been pretty consistent throughout the entire zoo. But I mean, yeah, and then the whole basic floor plan of the habitat with a backstage area that includes a cave and a staff entrance. And so I kind of just decided, I was like, well, I'm gonna at this point it's a matter of continuity. So upon realizing that I ended up copy and pasting a lot of the gallery pieces. Decided to kind of, once again, kind of a move of consistency is to provide two galleries, one being this nice little elevated one that I'm working on now, and the other one being one that's actually on ground level. So this is essentially me just copy and pasting, and then obviously making slight modifications like getting rid of the sign for the sloth bear because this isn't a sloth bear habitat. Don't be silly. But generally speaking, I do not think this fence is the type of fence to make long continuous stretches of. So as a result, I ended up kind of anchoring each segment as I did before with these rock formations. I really was and still am under the impression that fence would look really bad if I tried to make it corners, like corners with just that fence. So I did not include corners of that type of fence. I used the rocks. But I mean, yeah, again, a lot of this was copy and paste, and I gotta say, it made the build a lot more a lot friendlier. But I will say that there is still some copy and pasting that I did not accomplish in this build, which, is mainly just the fact that I did not add the top of the fence railings that I added everywhere else. I haven't added them. I haven't added them on this side of the fence separating the sloth bear and the Formosan Black Bear yet, which, that's something that I will do, but hopefully it won't take too long. It'll just be duplicate, rotate 180 degrees, and then kind of slide in a single axis. And that'll be like done lickety split. But here, once again, not a new technique from the nothing that I didn't do on the last new habitat, where I just replaced these null barriers with concrete ones so the guests won't try to look through the rocks. Of course, I had to rework some of those null barriers to make sure that it actually they couldn't technically escape. And then I just went back and covered up this bad mamma jamma because more often than not, the in-game barriers don't really look that good. And then I kind of just did a continuation of this windowed wooden fence on this side of the habitat. I thought it looked really good before, so I kind of just did more of the same. I did end up taking that big rock formation that's between the two. I ended up kind of beefing it up a little bit. Just the idea was that I was going to make it look like a more distinct barrier, like this is between habitats, and that you don't walk from one window to the other, being more of the same habitat was kind of the impression that I was trying to give off there. But from there, the barriers were finished, and once the barriers were finished, it was time for us to add in the bears. So once the bears were in, I really was able to kind of start referencing their needs, mainly in like traversable land area and the actual like types of terrain that they like to live in. I didn't add in the bears sooner. I could have added in the bears sooner. I mean, you keep the game on pause. A lot of people just throw down the null barriers in the gate and then add the bears in and then build their habitat around the bears' needs from the very start. I don't always know how like long I'm going to be working on a habitat. I don't want to add in the bears in the very beginning because I don't want to, step away from that habitat and do other stuff and forget about it, let the game run, and then all of a sudden the bears are just waltzing out. So I usually at least get the barriers up first. The only problem is that can generate problems with like maybe I didn't give them enough space, and it makes it kind of difficult to go back and fix. But that's kind of, I guess, generally my approach because I can sometimes be a little bit scatterbrained with this game. I really liked how the climbing frame for the sloth bear turned out, with it being like it having a little platform right next to the window the bears can hang out at, and the guests can kind of easily see them. So I kind of did more of the same here. But their requirements, the Formosan Black Bear's climbing requirements, are a little bit higher than that of the sloth bear. So as a result, I kind of had to make this climbing frame a little bit bigger. And when I say a little bit bigger, I mean like significantly bigger. Well, not significantly bigger, but bigger. So that's really, that they start out pretty much the same, and then I end up kind of just expanding the Formosan Black Bear one into the habitat a little bit more. I also had to deal with some overpopulation in my deer habitats kind of in the middle of this build, but didn't take too long, so I didn't really think it was worth trying to snip out. But yeah, I don't know, I want to say that in a minute I'm about to move on to the enrichment. Well, I guess this is part of the enrichment. But I guess the first thing that I kind of placed down with the enrichment, well, I guess the second thing, is a rubbing pillar. And I will say, like, I cannot advocate strongly enough for the like natural looking rubbing pillars. I think it leads to such a cool like in-game interaction with the bears in this case. But as a result, I was kind of, I guess, a little bit boxed in when it comes to like what biome I chose to make this. The Formosan black bear lives in 3 different biomes in Taiwan, which is, I think it's interesting because Taiwan is, not a huge island. I mean, as far as like islands are concerned, like it's not a small island. If you can see it on the globe, then it's not a small island. But anyway, it's not a huge. They make bigger islands, and I think it's very interesting to see that like they only live on Taiwan, and yet they live in these 3 different biomes, which is to say that Taiwan is a very diverse place. But you can see me fooling around with the rubbing pillar here. Then I realized I wanted one of the natural ones, so I went with the Scots pine because they only have 2. Which I was sitting here thinking, all right, well, that means I have to make a taiga habitat. Then I realized that the biodiversity in the taiga, at least in Asia, at least in this game, is pretty narrow. So I don't know. I kind of looked at the sloth bear habitat. I looked at the grizzly and realized they were both living in temperate habitats, and so I kind of made it a again, me dealing with more deer nonsense, but it kind of just made me want to turn it into like a hybrid between taiga and temperate. So I kind of just took that and ran. I left some of the taiga trees, but I didn't want to build a habitat that only had like 2 or 3 different types of trees, especially given the fact that one of the taiga trees was a Himalayan pine, which I figured isn't native to Taiwan. But I mean, for the most part, the rest of this is just me going back and adding foliage. Like I said, this includes some taiga and temperate foliage. I will say that, just generally speaking, there is more different types of temperate foliage. So that's I guess that's the biome that's more well represented here. Although that's not to say that there isn't some taiga shrubbery and plants and trees and stuff mixed in here. But I will say that compared to the sloth bear, I was not hurting first base, I would say. It's I don't know, the sloth bear I was trying to, the whole time I was having to make deliberate efforts to keep from, you know, blocking off too much space from them by trees or dense bushes or whatever. And that was less the case here with our black bears. They might have some problems if they were to have like 2 or 3 cubs at a time. Maybe. But maybe not. Honestly, it's nothing that should put them in the red. If anything, it might be like a yellow type problem. But either way though, it's nothing that I'm really gonna be losing sleep over. But putting down these vine tomatoes did actually give me an idea, which I will probably be doing off screen or maybe on live stream. CP Cunny is my Twitch, if anybody would be interested in tuning in to that live stream, although it might happen before I upload this. But I plan on making like a nice little garden for the Bears area staff center. I've found that making gardens in this game is just a really nice like backstage aesthetic that I love doing. I found that even once I placed all the foliage that we were still a little bit hurting for space, so I went ahead and added some rock formations to kind of break up that bare terrain. And yes, pun intended. But yeah, I mean, once I finished the rock work, when I went and added a grapevine that was kind of hugging this fence here. But once I finished with that, it took a little while. I was just messing with it for kind of an absurd amount of time. Although it's sped up ×6, so it's less absurd now. But that was pretty much all there was to it. So yeah, back to the live action commentary.
Whew, alright, welcome back. So I am not going to lie. I went ahead and just played through a whole bunch, was getting ready to snip those clips together, and then I realized that I did not have my audio turned on for the last, play section recap. I will just say more or less what I did. I didn't really do anything terribly pertinent to anything that you'd be seeing, but I had some overpopulation and, sex ratio little issues over with my red deer, so I went ahead and took care of that. But anyway, I will, as you can see, our Formosan Black Bears now have a lovely home. I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to, I had an easier time sticking to their space requirements than I did for the sloth bear. I might be pushed into the yellow. I might be pushed into the yellow if they were to have 2 or more cubs. Yeah, just a little bit. But all in all, though, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's nothing that's going to really impact their welfare a whole bunch. Look at that chunky gal sliding on up there. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the habitat once I go ahead and urgently assign a zookeeper to go clean up after the grizzlies, because the grizzlies are here making a big old mess. So look at that guy. Look at that guy. Is that Matthew? Is that Matthew? Look at Matthew. He's going crazy. He's going stupid. Yeah, that's Matthew. Yep, cleanliness is not great in this habitat right now, but I'm glad he's enjoying the scratching post. Grizzly bears are so lovely. Hi there, friend. Are you just wiping your feet? Why are you wiping your feet? Is it because you stepped in your own poo? Oh, he's gonna use it some more. He's gonna use it some more. That's so charming. Look at him. He's just having a great time. Just having a great time. Oh, is that a cub? Is that a cub? Oh, they have cubs.
I didn't even know. Himison. I don't know how to pronounce that. But look at this lovely little guy. Look at this lovely little guy. And look at those pristine genetics. My man. Dang, look at that. Look at that handsome bear. I'm kind of wondering if he's the only cub that they had. Yeah, looks like he's the only cub they have right now. They didn't have more than one. Anywho, black bear habitat. We are not looking at brown bears right now. We are looking at black bears. And these black bears, ironically, one of the two is not really black at all. This is, what is it? I remember her name being particularly beautiful. Oh no, I can't even select her because she's in the tree. Come here, you. Her name is something dumb. She got named based on her intentions for her previous owner, breed group 1. Yeah. So if anybody would like to contribute a name for this lovely Formosan black bear, that is actually more of this lovely, like, I don't know, it's like salt and pepper look to her. Kind of looks like the hair on my dad's head. Are they about to breed? They might be about to breed right now. Well, look at that. Let's see them nuzzle. Dang, okay. I didn't realize that looks like the male is significantly smaller than the female. Of course, he is. Ooh, goodness gracious. He is a runt. Wow. Meanwhile, she is on the bigger side. But anyway, yeah, the style for this habitat, I opted to kind of stick to pretty close to what I was doing for the sloth bear habitat and the grizzly habitat before that. I just thought since they were kind of in this cluster, I thought it makes sense to almost make them look like continuations of one another. There are some peripheral details that I have yet to finish. I haven't added any education media stuff yet. I haven't added the sign for the species. I'm uncertain as to whether or not I'm going to do the Formosan black bear or the Asian black bear, because the Formosan black bear is really just a subspecies of Asian black bears. So I don't know. The Asian black bear would be more, I guess, consistent. Although by that logic, then I should just change grizzly bear to brown bear. But the difference is that with the grizzly bear, there actually is another subspecies of brown bear that I'm planning on putting in here, which is the Himalayan brown bear. Ideally, is going to fit in this little awkward spot right here. But either way, I don't know. I reckon that what I call it on the sign is relatively arbitrary. But I do, I do want to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to lend some thought to exactly what I'm gonna do there. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, peripheral details have yet to be filled in. There's gonna be rock walls here and here to kind of separate the galleries from the rest of the big main paths. Probably going to include some small little bits of decor, some bins and benches around the area. I'm also going to add this type railing on this side of this wall. I really just didn't feel like contending with that right now, but it is something that I will be doing. Probably gonna need to get rid of this little cluster. Wait, I might need to mess with the bamboo and move it so that it's not going right through the railing, or I might just leave it, because I mean there is plenty of space for bamboo to grow in between that railing and the wall. Either way though, the habitat is all but finished. I kind of like I said, there's a lot of similarities here with these caves. Oh wait, I forgot. I haven't even added bedding, which I will do real quick. Do we need to, honestly, should I use I think I'm going to use the leaves. So I'm going to put those right there. Put some smaller ones over here. Good, but honestly, there's not going to be that many bears here. That would probably have been enough. But yeah, I'm, like I said, help me name this beautiful bear that I have lost track of. Where are you, dearest? Oh, she's over here. Just hanging out in the corner. Oh, that's nice. Hi. Hi. Oh, these bears are so pretty. They have such, like, bullish heads. I feel like even relative to, like, the grizzly bear. Like, you know, their snout is, like, the grizzly bear, the snout is more, like, pronounced. Like, looks a little bit narrower. But the Formosan Black Bear has a particularly, like, broad snout. Like, look at that. That is a, like, I think it makes them look much larger than they actually are. Now, don't get me wrong. They're still pretty freaking big. Like this guy, even this runt is pretty large, pretty large animal. But you know, it's like I said, they're big, bullish heads with their broad snouts just make them look, I guess, more foreboding. Anywho, back to, I guess, the quick little recap here. Yeah, nothing conceptually is drastically different from the sloth bear habitat. The climbing frame is, I'd say, the most noteworthy difference. I really liked how it turned out with this platform nudged right against this viewing gallery, so I continued that. But they had a little bit steeper of a climbing requirement, so I went ahead and kind of expanded on it. And then I added in trees and noticed that at least some of the trees do act towards their climbing requirement, meaning that they have significantly more climbable space than they need. But honestly, that's not really anything that oh, look at them run. That's not really anything that I'm that I'm really sweating. You know, I actually really liked how that front climbing frame turned out, so I'm perfectly content leaving it all intact. And we get to watch this guy eat, watch this guy snack on some branches and some meat. Yeah, you liking what you got there, mate? Yeah, you just gobbled all that up. Yeah, you honestly look like you still got some growing to do. Meanwhile, she's coming over here eating from this much larger tray, and she is... Oh, shoot. What's that on her face? Did she get injured? Is she injured? Is she injured? Is she... Look up! Look up, please. Come on. Look, can you stop chowing for, like, 2 seconds so that I can, like, check on you? I'm concerned for your well-being, madam. Breed group 1. If you do not look... Okay, yeah, that definitely looks like... Oh, my goodness. What happened? I'm going to go ahead and call a vet, just because it definitely looks like she's injured. Although, look at that. Like, they're mates. Like, I don't know... I don't think you can sell animals if they're injured, which definitely leads me to believe that this happened here. I just don't know how it happened here, because her and Bao seem to be getting along. Also, Bao is a little baby boy, like, so I don't even know how you could inflict such damage on that beautiful woman over there. I mean, she is kind of an older gal, so maybe that's it. But anyway, suggest names for breed group 1. Suggest names for whatever the heck the female sloth bear's name is, which is equally ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. Anywho, next time I will be probably looking to... I'm probably going to do the... Himalayan brown bear habitat, as well as maybe this building, and then maybe a nice little Ursidae sign. I'm probably gonna go and take care of some of that peripheral stuff off screen, but I will do my very best to recap and show what I did, if I do that, and yeah. With that, I'm going to go ahead and kind of just wait things out a little bit, see if the vet can tell us anything about what's happened to breed group 1, because, yeah, she's got a scar, or a mark. Scar is probably not the right word, but she's got a mark on her face, which is real sad. It makes me very sad, actually. Is she going to sit down? I'm actually going to pause it, and I think that this is an adequate... Well, I don't know. I I don't want to show off her all hurt. Maybe I'll turn this way. And then maybe I'll wait for her to open her eyes. Are her eyes open? I think her eyes are actually open. Well, I don't know. See, it's like I almost want to use Bow more, just because Bow is, I guess, more clearly a black bear, so I'm going to wait until he does something noteworthy. And then I will, oh, look at him. What's he doing? He's like skulking. He looks like he's prowling. Like, bro, you already got her. Like, stop. What the heck? Oh my gosh, this again. Yeah, like I said, no. Alright, well, yeah, like I said, I was trying to deal with this earlier, and I thought I did. I thought this guy was, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go ahead and, can we remove, yeah, okay, good. Looks like Isaac is healed. Wow, alright, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take those 10. Okay, so, anyway, well, yeah, we're gonna let the game run for a little bit, and hopefully Bow is going to do something interesting that is thumbnail worthy. Come on, Bow. I mean, honestly, I also just don't mind, like, just watching him. He's a very handsome bear. He's a little small, which, it's like, all of his other traits are pretty solid, so I can live with the fact that he's a little pipsqueak. But yeah, he's not really doing anything of particular interest, although he's heading towards that climbing frame, so I'm hoping that he's going to lumber over there, and then I can take a picture of him while he's climbing. Can I just press P to pause? Yes, I can, even in this cinematic camera. Oh, what are you doing? Nope, he changed his mind. Alright, well, in that case, shoot. I guess I'll just find something to talk about until he does something of interest. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and share that little factoid that I learned about black bears the other day. Well, sorry, not all black bears. Well, not all black bears, and not just black bears. But anywho, I learned that there is a case of convergent evolution in which, a trait the same trait evolves in species different species independently to deal with the same problem. And that trait is markings on the chest and or head of bears in Asia, meaning like the Asian black bear, the species of which the Formosan black bear is the subspecies of, has these markings on their chest right there. You see him? Kind of hard to see him right now because he's walking. But anyway, yeah, all Asian black bears have them. The sloth bear has them as well. The sun bear has them as well, although I could imagine it being for different reasons. And then also Asian brown bears also have them. But they have them because the one thing that all Asian bears have in common is that they all have to worry. Are you going to do anything interesting, like remotely soon? Could you please? Anyway, but yeah, they all have the thing in common that they have to worry about is tigers. Apparently, tigers and bears, like, I'm not going to say they fight, like, fighting is like, it's like, they square up, like they fight with the intention of fighting. Oh yeah, and the only thing you're going to do is poop. But tigers hunt bears. They don't do it often, and generally speaking, if a tiger hunts a bear, then the only way that it's actually going to go like well for the tiger is if the tiger gets the jump on the bear. So bears have evolved these markings on their front, which basically just lets tigers know like what they're getting into. If they see the markings, then they know that the bear is facing them and will likely see them and actually be able to fight back, which even if the tiger wins, then that's going to be a costly fight and could affect their chances for survival. So the bears were kind enough, both for, it prevents
fights that they would likely get hurt in, which benefits, of course, them and the tigers. And they evolved these handy-dandy little markings, which, yeah, you can see, like, the marking on his chest as well as there's a little bit of marking on his head. I'm not entirely sure if the different coloration in the snout is kind of lumped up in that. Finally, pause. Okay, here we go. Yes, okay, here we go. The time is now. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna get it off center so that I have somewhere to put the somewhere to put, you know, the text. Okay. Honestly, I might just do like this. Yeah, that'll work. Get this out of the way. And let's see here. I can never remember which button I need to hold down when I press the print screen. I think it's the Windows button, maybe? Yes, Windows button. All right. And with that, I am going to leave you kind folks for the rest of the evening. And I thank you once again for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.